and welcome back to the Weird and Proud podcast. It's Sam. And
James.
oh shit, I fucked that up again.
James.
We're back. Welcome to this is technically episode 2 of season 2 of the Weird and Proud podcast. We're so happy that you came back and joined us. Hope you had a great week. It's almost the end of January, and if you've been following along, James and I have been doing dry January, and James,
Dry-ish January for
dry-ish.
this guy. I had one day, but it was pre-planned.
Yeah,
I like to be honest.
And
it was a work function.
You can't go to a work function without
had to participate. It was worth it.
Yeah. No, that's totally acceptable. So I luckily have been able to pull this off. Almost 30 days, no alcohol. We started a little late because of New Orleans, so we pushed back a couple days. But any takeaways, James, from dry January that you will take with you?
It's always good to just figure out new things to do.
Yeah.
Right? You pull out something that you do for fun, like on the weekends. Let's cook at home. Let's stay home. Let's have a bottle of wine. Let's do this. Oh, it's football's on. We can have a drink. You figure out new things to do, and it is really a time saver, an energy saver.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things to come from it.
Totally. Yeah, and I would say for me, I guess like everyone, a couple people were giving me crap because I said, "Oh, I'm doing dry January. I've been so good," and then a couple people were like, "You've been smoking the devil's grass, or you've been taking your gummies," so apparently that means that I'm California sober. We were talking to people last night, and the term is California sober, where you can have a little bit of the marijuana.
We never talked about, and I haven't, but I did have my alcohol day where it was dry January. We didn't talk about anything else.
Yeah. We didn't talk about any other drugs.
Black tar, heroin, whatever else we want to try is fine.
Yeah, there's of course this meme going around that was like, I'm trying to be healthy for the month of January. I'm not drinking, but I'm just gonna do drugs instead. Which relatable. But yeah, I'm not doing black tar heroin unless James or something you wanna.
No, pretty good on the black tar.
But we had, but I do have my medical card, even though now in Connecticut where we live, you can, it's legal obviously. And now as of January, all of the local dispensaries are open for adult use. So really it's just like, and I feel like everyone's doing the weeds, doing the weed.
Exactly.
And we, I did have a night where I did do the mushroom chocolates. I had a mushroom night. So I don't know if that counts, but and it was a slow. I just wanted to, just to have a little bit. It was nothing crazy. I wasn't tripping balls.
No, exactly.
Because I did have really bad experience that I'm still recovering from. Which I don't know if I ever told that story on here the night that I took too many mushrooms.
I don't remember if you told that story.
There was one night, I think it was like, I can't even remember one. It was in the summer.
Yes.
It was like in July. Because I remember it was warm out. And one of my friends, normally we have like some of these little mushroom chocolates that like, well, kind of like a microdose, we're not doing anything crazy, but I had tried doing the microdose thing where you're not even really supposed to feel it. Like you don't really feel high. It just is supposed to help you focus. Apparently it's supposed to give you energy, help you be more creative. So of course I was like, sign me up. So I had done a little bit of the microdosing and was, finding some good results from it. And then one of my friends was like, "Oh, well, if you guys want a real mushroom experience, if you want to time travel." So she said, you got to take this entire baggie. And it was like, these were like the real mushrooms. Like, and I'd never actually done real mushrooms before. It'd always been like the mushroom chocolates, and it was like this full bag of them. And I didn't know at the time how much it was, but it was 5 grams, which is a lot. And like if you're microdosing, you're normally taking like 0.1. I didn't know this. I just saw that this was the instructions said take this, make sure you don't go anywhere because you will time travel and you will meet your ancestors. You put it in a drink and you drink it. And of course, I didn't know this either, but if you put lemon juice with your mushrooms, apparently it like even makes them more intense, like it intensifies it even more. So of course, to help hide the flavor, I put a ton of lemon juice in it. And within like 20 minutes, I looked at James and I was like, I'm freaking out. And what was so freaky is that, so it was summertime, all the windows were open. So we were sitting on the couch and our neighbors were having a party and they were playing this music that was so loud. And then when I really knew it was starting to hit is like the music started skipping and like, it's like, it's like, felt like you were in like a, like a amusement park where it's like, and I was freaking out. Luckily, James
was there to be supportive, and it's
yes,
nice
James
to have
was there
someone
to support me.
I was there to be
James,
supportive.
yeah, James was there to be supportive. He wasn't participating.
What we
but
learned is if you're going to do this, have someone that's maybe sober that can at least bring you back to reality.
Thank God.
A lot of the shamans that they do this, like when you're in Peru, they're not taking it with you.
Right.
They're there to give you a center point
you
to come back
yeah.
to.
Right. But yeah, I didn't even know. I literally, it was probably one of the craziest experiences because you really have like no control. Like, I mean, it was like you have to be along for the ride of it all. And I thought I was losing my mind. Like, I was describing it to some people as like I thought I was in the upside down world. Like, if you watch Stranger Things, it's like everything moves slow. It's apparently too like mushrooms, they enhance like all of your Prue would like to come and sit on your lap, James. Prue has entered the building. So it's like all of your senses are heightened. So it's like you're obviously hearing, your sound gets all messed up, everything you see can get messed up. And when you taste, when you touch things, it's just like, it is so wild. And it really screwed me up for a while. I was like, I can't do mushrooms ever again because I got so anxious too. It made me really anxious. And I remember like I just had to like lay down like in the room upstairs. Like James was like rubbing my back because I'm like, I just like felt like I was literally losing my mind. And that was the last time I did it for a while.
And you mentioned the enhanced anxious, and I think you've talked to your people about, you claim, and I say this with all the love, this, you claim to have anxiety. I tell you that's your superpower.
Yes.
Because it keeps you moving and your anxiety it keeps you going and you stay so motivated with it and you handle it so well.
Yeah.
That sometimes with any, I think, brain altering experience, sometimes a part of you might become enhanced, and that part just happened to slip through the cracks and be a little more enhanced. But you handled it really well. And
well, I don't know about really well. I mean,
from my perspective,
from your perspective,
I wasn't inside the brain knowing what's going on. I just got to look from the outside
of my body. But and how much the time messes with you too. That was the other thing that I like could not get around. Like, I would look at the clock and I was like, okay, it's 7:22. Like, it's in a couple hours, I'm gonna be fine. Like, I don't have to worry about it. And I would like try to just like take deep breaths, and I would feel what felt like 20 minutes had gone by. And then I would look at the clock and it would still be 7:22. And it was like, how the hell so I like almost felt like I was stuck in like this other world. It was so weird. It was like the longest night of my life because I really like in my brain thought I was there like for days. It was so weird. So that is the one time that I had like a really, really bad experience. And I was like, I don't know if I can ever do this again, especially obviously would never take that much again. Obviously, lesson learned. And Would I say I met my ancestors? I don't know. Is my ancestor like the most anxious person in the entire world? Probably. I mean, if so, then I guess that makes sense. But it was a crazy, crazy experience. So I really have kind of like eased back into that, even though, too, I feel like mushrooms are now too like the thing. It's starting to get legal everywhere.
I would take the Aaron Rodgers approach on it. I
Yeah.
would go down to Peru and try it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I know. Aaron Rodgers is like all about it. Yeah, and like I see people that, friends that do, have mushroom chocolates. I feel like they're more readily available. Which is like kind of crazy because it was always one of those drugs that like kind of got a bad rep, or you're like, oh, are you tripping? But really, if you're safe and you like don't take 5 grams like I did and pour lemon juice all over it and don't eat anything the day of, that was the other thing. I hadn't eaten all day. And yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But I would say, going back to like dry January in general, I think that's one of the big takeaways is for us, like a lot of the times when we go out, especially like our date nights, those are like our times for like us to be like, okay, let's go out together, just me and you, have a special date night. And I feel like we'd always get a glass of wine, we'd always get a drink,
Food
we'd
and drinks.
always, yeah, and that was even like something we bonded over when we first met.
Still one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it still is. Like we still loved.
I still want to go to dinners and have drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, we love finding new food places. That's such a big part of our relationship. So it's like, okay, how do we make that something we can still do just without the alcohol involved? So, yeah, we've definitely been cooking home a lot more, and also doing, like I feel like too, it's like just being able to have something like if, especially if we're making a really nice dinner, like we're making a nice steak dinner, it's like, oh, I don't want like a glass of water with my steak,
No. Good dinners need wine.
So, or like a fun drink. So, if you followed on the social media, we've been doing a lot of non-alcoholic drinks. Like we tried Liars, which we loved. We did a whole YouTube video. I did that with one of my friends because James is also doing super low carb.
I doubled down just because it's easier to do.
James went
a little
deep.
Quick. Fitness influencers will bash me for this, but they can come at me all they need to, and I'll explain it to them with some science. But just a little keto reset. So they don't like the term reset anymore, but I will. If you feel free to call in. We'll chat about that.
Jeez, yeah. No, I don't think anyone wants to hear about your keto.
I don't go keto. Listen, fine. No, this is not advice. It's just something I do because I know it kind of works for me. And then when you're not drinking, it's a lot easier to do. That's why I doubled down.
Yeah. Because if you have alcohol involved, that's like almost impossible to do keto.
You can't.
Yeah. So James was being really good. He wasn't having like anything with any sugar in it. And they have some sugar. And I was trying to be good this month and not have sugar either.
But those, wait.
Yeah, it's pretty
those
low.
are really good. No.
And they're delicious.
Even if I was going just like kind of a low carb approach,
yeah,
I would have those.
Yeah.
Keto's different. It's where you got to, it's 30 grams or less a day.
Yeah.
So one drink of those had 5 grams. It's like a sixth of what you're allowed for carbs. So
yeah. So we've been kind of enjoying having fun, little nights making fun drinks and trying new stuff, just so it's like you have something that you're not feeling like you're drinking water all day, where, with a nice dinner or, something that just kind of like helps with that craving of like, oh, I just feel like I want to have like a little wet my whistle that's not something boring.
Yes.
Like water, water with lemon.
And like we went to a super fun party last night with friends that we would normally drink with.
Yep.
And we just did our own thing. And it does remind you, there were plenty of times where we did this, but I would say especially over COVID, especially coming back from COVID, anytime we went out with friends, we didn't not have at least a couple of beverages.
Yeah.
Every weekend we were having beverages.
Yeah. Well, and especially a lot of our friends are big drinkers too.
Every weekend we go have, not like go crazy, but
just at least have a couple. And it's been nice. It's been like a good reminder that it's like, no, I can go out and not drink, like it just kind of forces you, because there are some times when it's like, I can't go to this and not drink. I can't, be at this party where everyone's going to be drinking and not drink. And it's like, Yeah, you can, and there's so many ways now. Even James had the liquid death cans, which,
Oh, if you want to even test it out,
yeah,
get the liquid death, because as I said last night over and over, it's just bleeping water. Can I
it's
swear on
just
our podcast?
bleeping water.
It's just fucking water. People would look at it and be like, "Oh my god, what are you drinking?" Oh, I
Yeah, what
thought
kind
you
of
were
beer is
doing.
that?
And people even asked you,
Yeah, they're like, I
"Oh,
thought James was doing dry
James isn't
January.
doing
Why does
dry
he have a
January," and they're
beer?
like, "It's fucking water."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen the liquid death, which are like, they
Brilliant
look like,
marketing.
it looks like a beer aluminum can.
Everyone asked if it was like a triple IPA or something.
Yeah.
They're like, "Is that
And
like
it's
a
just water.
12% alcohol beer or
Yeah.
something?" I'm like,
So
fucking water.
basically, but it's also nice too, because then you don't feel like people are giving you shit. Like, I feel like that's also the other thing, especially being around friends who are all big drinkers, and they're like, taking shots, and why aren't you drinking? When you have something in your hand that looks like a drink, most people I don't even think even asked me, were like,
Nope, because you had a
because I
little
had a
can. It
little
looks
one
like
of
a
the
seltzer.
Lyres, yep, that looked like a seltzer. So like, no one even
I got the
thought.
liquid death is like a 16 big can.
Yeah.
It's
Most people
perfect.
so
Good
it's
cover.
just, yeah, now that there's so many options, it just makes it a lot easier to be, to not drink alcohol, I should say, to not be completely sober, because of course I bring my gummies with me. My medicine for me.
And it was the first I did it this month, which normally I like a good cigar once in a while, but I brought cigars last night, which
Yeah.
made it a good social. These are my friends, some of the guys that we've all had cigar nights before. So having the cigar in place of it was a
cigar,
good
a cigar every once in a while isn't horrible. It's not like you're.
If anybody listening to the podcast smokes like a true old school 1970s tobacco pipe,
Oh yeah, James
and you
wants a
have some
tobacco
advice.
pipe.
Oh no, me and my buddies, we're into pipes now. Like, we haven't bought them yet, but we are. I have some uncles that used to smoke pipe tobacco, and this isn't an everyday thing. This is like, I do, like, I'll probably have a cigar once or twice a month.
Yeah.
Maybe once a month.
Yeah.
But I'm switching to pipe tobacco. So if anybody out there is a pipe tobacco smoker, would love some advice.
Yeah, and then I can use it for my
No, there's
weed.
nothing but tobacco going in my pipe.
Well, sure, that's what you think. So anyway, so just, some reflections if you're thinking about it. It's always 30 days. I feel like it's a great reset. I feel like too now, like, the beginning of the month, it would have been really hard to go to some of the parties. Like in the first week of the month, we really kind of stayed home because I was like, it's going to be tough. But now I really don't have that many cravings. And even though like it's going to be February pretty soon, I'm not like itching to like go out and have a drink.
It was like it's definitely a social craving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more social,
as society today uses it, it's a trigger.
It's a trigger. And yeah, I would say too, I will, next time we go out to dinner, and if it's after February, I'll probably, that'll probably be when I'll have my next drink. But I'm not like, like itching to have one at home. Like I feel pretty good. That
I'm keto till the first Friday in February, so I ain't having anything till then.
James
anyway.
has been, I know, James has been good. And I did try to also do no processed sugar, because I know everyone gave me crap when I would have fruit or anything or maple syrup, but I tried to do no processed sugar, which turns out that can be really hard too, because when you're not having alcohol, a lot of the times, like, I'd be like, oh, well, I just want something sweet, because a lot of times that, alcohol drink would be like the sweet thing at the end of the night. And I was, so that was hard. I didn't realize how much I was going to have sugar cravings. So it did force me to kind of get creative with fruit. I was doing a lot of like, making my own chocolate at home with maple syrup instead of sugar.
Healthy chocolate bark. That was great.
Yeah. So, and there were definitely a couple nights that I did have some sugary thing. Last night too, they had cupcakes there. It was one of my friend's birthdays. So, and there were Dolce, Trace Dolce. What was it? Trace Dolce.
Trace leche?
Trace leche.
That's 3 milks.
Oh,
I didn't even have one. I knew it was Trace leche.
Trace leches. It was like these Trace leches cupcakes. And I was like, I can't not have a Trace leches cupcake. They looked so fucking good. And I had 2 of them. I had two. They were small, but they're delicious. And they were worth it. And I was like, you know what? I've been really good. And I feel like the least bloated I've been in a long time, which has been really great. But, I know I normally post, of course, a lot of like my workouts and stuff, and I, post on social media that a lot of times, like when I do these kind of challenges where we're not drinking or not doing sugar, it's like it's not even that I'm trying to lose weight. It really is a lot of the times either like a mental thing, because I know without sugar and alcohol, like, I know my mental health is going to be better. I know I'm going to be thinking clearer. I'm going to have better clarity. I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to get my better sleep than I did. So it's really even a lot of time isn't even like for losing weight. I don't even have, I don't even know if you have one. We don't even have a scale in this house anymore. I
There
know
was one
I was
somewhere.
going to say there's one somewhere, but I haven't even pulled it out. Like a lot of people are like, did you lose any weight from it? I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. I just know that I feel better. And I would say for sure my pants are fitting a little bit better. So,
I
but that's just kind of a nice
and
part.
I
I just feel less like bloated,
I hope people look some of that stuff up. There are some great influencers and fitness information out there
Yeah.
that if you've ever struggled with wanting to lose weight and not, it's maybe because you're focusing on losing weight. Don't
Right.
focus on that. Focus on what are my habits?
Right.
How can I change them? How can I don't even take out bad stuff? Start by adding in healthy stuff.
Yeah.
Get up earlier, go to bed earlier. Say, I want more energy so I can achieve XYZ.
Yeah.
Like it,
I want to
all
think
those things
clearer.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's been really nice to not be hungover, I gotta say. And I think that was also one of the things, like, when we were drinking a lot, obviously, over the holidays, and then we were in New Orleans. It was like, it just being hungover, especially like at this age when it's just feels like it takes an entire day. Like you lose a day to being hungover. And I feel like I've been able to be more productive,
Oh
this
yeah.
month because I haven't had to like waste.
Especially coming off the holidays and
Right.
then, well, holidays including New Orleans and
Yeah.
then coming to clean. It's like, oh wow, there's a big difference between
Yeah.
these two.
Yeah. So, anyways, just a little self reflection. And if you ever, are interested in doing it, highly recommend. You can do it whenever. I think, that's the other thing too, is it's like there really a lot of times isn't a great month to do it. Like a lot of people, I know had reached out and been like, well, I wanted to do it in January, but we were traveling, we were going on vacation.
Do it in February. It's a shorter
Yeah, I was
month.
going to say, yeah,
It's
do it in
28
February
days.
then, or do it in March. I know a lot of people, someone was said sober October is a big, thing, but like even if you,
Oh, I couldn't do that with Halloween.
well, it's like you really need to drink for,
Yes.
yes.
Hard yes on that one.
But yeah, do it on February. And the app, like I like to use an app because it just keeps me motivated and to see all the stats, like I think I'd shown you the app. It's
Yep.
a free app. Quit Drinking is the app on iPhone, and you can download it. You can like enter all these stats of like why you're doing it, how many drinks you normally have, what you normally drink. And then I can like pull it up every day and it'll tell me like, it's crazy, like the amount of calories and the amount of money and just the amount that I was drinking. It just, when you see the numbers like that, it's like, whoa, that is a lot of
Oh, the savings was
yeah.
Yeah.
Even just like it's like whenever we go to dinner, half the bill is alcohol.
half the bill's alcohol.
So anyway, so try it out. Let us know what you think. And whatever you do, don't take 5 grams of mushrooms like I did. Yeah, crazy times. That really like messed me up. I know I shouldn't talk about it, and I keep talking about it, but
If you need to talk about it, talk about
I
it.
needed to get that off my chest. It was a really scary time. Anyways, guys, so I hope you're having a great week. I feel like it's time to get into some secrets.
Yay! I
It's that time of the
love
program.
the secrets.
And as a reminder, if you want to send us in a weird secret, a weird story, the way to do that is
Big pipe.
poor Prue, every time she jumps. And Prue is in James's lap if you're looking on the YouTubes. She's such a sweet little girl. So if you go to speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod, you can leave us an anonymous voicemail up to a minute long. Or if you want to write it out, you don't want to use, you don't want to give your voice away, you can email us at weird and proud pod. So weird and proud pod, all one word and spelled out, at gmail.com. And you can email us as well and just let us know you want to be anonymous. And we will read yours. Okay, so I saw from the one that we did last week, Tess.
Yes.
She left us another one.
Yay. So I love a recall. Thank you.
So I wanted to do a follow-up. I saw that she had sent another one, and we always love a follow-up too. Yeah, if you've sent one in before and you have a follow-up or, answered one of our questions, we love a follow-up. So please send those in too. So here is Tess.
Hey guys, Tess from Australia again. I just wanted to say thank you so much for making me feel so included and like I did a solid for the team. It should be like paying your taxes or doing jury duty. Sometimes you got to get in there and do your part. I did want to answer a question because there was a bit of, you guys were curious about a couple of things. I do think that it is a textural issue, or not issue, but textural thing. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was cling wrap was the gateway drug to PVC fetishism, latex loving. Either that or he's really into sausages because I think I was a tasty banger by the end.
I love the Australian accent. No, that was
horrible. I love the accent portion of the program. I'm really loving your accent portion of the program.
Same. That Tess, we love you so much. Yeah, definitely. We definitely love that you are a team player, but I would agree with you. Yeah, it must be definitely a texture thing. And yeah, latex is like a big
I didn't
kink.
think about the gateway
drug to latex.
And there's something
it's like
about
a cheap latex.
Yeah. I like the sausage idea more so just because I'm a huge fan of sausage
James
meat.
loves sausage, so that really caught his attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I would assume, but I know that you don't know the answer to this, but I still am like curious of like, how he did see that. Maybe he did see like a latex video and was like, how do I recreate that without going to like buy latex? Oh, I have cling wrap. Like, I'll just use that.
But also I think the visual, it's got to be something with the see-through.
Tight. Maybe it's, right. Because latex isn't really see-through. Totally. No, we love that. I hope that guy's doing well. I hope he found what he was looking for. And, maybe you can find some see-through latex you could send him as like a going away breakup present.
Hopefully this isn't a precursor to like a Dexter situation.
Great show. All right. Thank you so much, Tess, for the follow-up.
Yay,
we love
Tess.
You. We love that Australian accent of yours. I'm not even going to try again. All right. You ready for a next voicemail?
I like her joke about being a tasty banger, though. Banger being English for a sausage.
Oh, so yeah. No, I know.
The bangers and mash.
I know.
Back to delicious food.
All right. Here we go. Next secret.
I grew up with like my best friend since I was 7 years old. I didn't have any siblings, nor did she. She had an older brother, but he was like 10 years older than she was. And needless to say, we were like sisters. So we would fight all the time, like fist fight if we had sleepovers. Well, one night, it was a typical Friday night at home, and we had a sleepover and we involved another girl. And so we got in this huge fight. Needless to say, we started throwing hands. We were very young and stupid. So I ran to my mom's room. Well, so did the other girls. And we all found my mom with her legs up in the air and my stepdad in the box. And I will never live this sleepover down, ever. Oh, needless to say, the fighting stopped immediately, and I think we snuck the rest of their alcohol.
Wait, so they obviously, her stepdad and her mom were banging.
Yep. So that's what it sounds like.
He was in the box. Like, you mean box is like her vajiji?
I think so. That's what I took.
I was like, he's in the box. I'm like, what box? Oh, her box.
If her legs are in the air, I can't picture her legs being in the air and him just being in a box. Which I get, the box is part of a fetish for some, but I can't picture her just being with legs in the air and him being in a box. Literally.
Yeah.
I think he was in the other box. Yes.
He was in the lady box.
Yes.
The lady box. Have you ever walked in on your parents at any
No.
point? Yeah. I did way back in the day. It is traumatizing. It'll fuck you up.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
It'll really fuck you up.
I'm sure that it is.
Especially when you see something like so dramatic like that. Like, it's one thing to walk in and blankets are on that mean and be like, oh my God. But like when you see like details and you remember details like that, like specific.
I wonder if age matters.
Well, I'm sure at some point, like, you just don't remember. Like, like you could have done it at 3 years old, and
3
it's like
and younger. Usually there's not a whole lot of
you're not gonna
memory
remember
formulated till after 3 is what I've heard.
Right. But if you're older, especially like I always was going into my parents' room because I had the most horrible time trying to sleep when I was little. I had such bad nightmares, and I used to talk to ghosts.
Of course.
That's a whole other episode. I think we've actually done an episode on my ghost stories.
About the man in the flannel pants.
We used to do a lot of ghost stories in the last season. If you
we love a ghost story.
We love a ghost story. So I was literally in my parents' room like almost every other night. And there were definitely a couple times that I walked in, and luckily, thank God, I never like saw anything specific or was anything too crazy that would like really traumatize me for the rest of my life. Yeah, like this one. But
did you catch how old they were on this?
I don't think she said.
I don't know why I'm obsessed with the age thing now, but I'm just trying to like differentiate between if you were so young that you really didn't know what
or really
it
understand,
meant, that might be. I see that, and now maybe we need a child psychologist to call us in and tell us the right thing to think. This is just a total guess. I would say that if you're under like the age of 5, maybe even 6. Like, think when you're in that kindergarten age.
No, when you're older, it's worse.
If you're like 9 or 13, 10, if you're over 9 or 10, school, I can see it being extremely traumatizing.
Yeah, I thought she had said something about middle school, and like that would probably be the worst age.
That would be the worst.
Yeah, because you know what's going on, you know what you're watching, and where do you go from there? It's like
I think if you're over like 18 or 20, still super traumatizing, but at least like, you can understand it a little
and you're
bit.
Like, all right, sicko, it's like,
okay, sickos.
But yeah, and then to have your friends see it too, that's even worse. That's even worse. But I hope you guys weren't fighting too much.
The fighting stopped.
As she said. At least you guys, the fighting stopped. Thank you so much for calling in.
Maybe that's a new parental punishment.
Someone had, there was a joke about that somewhere that it's like, if you don't shut up, me and your mom are gonna start.
Oh my God,
banging,
that's funny.
Or making out, or like, we'll start kissing in front of you, or.
Oh, that's funny.
It's also a little weird, but okay. All right.
I think that's funny.
Yeah.
So I'm from Washington, D.C. metro area. I met this guy on a sugar daddy dating website. He was like 50 years old. I go all the way down to like Capitol Hill to meet him, which is like far as fuck. The guy has the audacity to, first of all, be on his phone, and then second of all, order a drink for me that I didn't even like. It was like some oat milk thing. And then we go around the block and we talk for like 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, he's like, you know what? You're a bit heavier than I expected you to be. I'm like looking at him like, what the fuck? So I throw my drink on his jacket and I walk away. I'm not gonna lie, like, I shit you not, I cried all the way home, like on the metro. Like, I was so upset. And then I basically texted him, I said, do not fucking contact me ever again. Like, first of all, you don't get to order a drink for a person not knowing what they like. And then second of all, don't be on your fucking cell phone when you meet somebody for the first time. And then also don't tell them that they're basically fat, right? Like, I was in the process of losing a shit ton of weight, and I've always been self-conscious of my body, but I don't know, I just thought that was so fucking weird and bizarre. And by the way, this happened like 7 years ago. So I'm no longer on that website, obviously. I'm my own sugar daddy now.
Edit girl.
Oh my God. Dating stories these days, I mean, obviously, like, I love you so much, but like, one of the reasons that I never want to go on dates or date with anyone.
So part of the reason we have a good relationship is you're just scared to date anyone else. I'll take that.
No, I mean, obviously I'm kidding, but
I'll take
the
that.
stories that people tell, and I feel like it also is just because there are so many dating websites out there that people just, oh my God, my cat's acting crazy, that people can just act like total assholes now all the time,
I believe that's called narcissism.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I think that's I wonder if that exact description is in the Webster dictionary for narcissist.
Would bet. Oh my God, Prue and the cats are fighting again. I am so sorry that happened to you. That literally,
yeah, that's awful. I'm so sorry you ran into a narcissist. Remember, no matter what he says, that's not your fault. Yeah. That's all him.
Yeah,
that's
obviously
the inability to. He cares so little about himself that he has to take it out on others.
Yeah, which is really fucking sad. So yeah, obviously I'm guessing now you're hopefully in a much better place. Hopefully you maybe found someone better. Yeah, you said that you're your own sugar daddy. Which is amazing. I would hope too. Yeah, if you're on a sugar daddy website and this was like an older man too, it's like, who says stuff like that? People are just not well. That's one thing I've learned in this life recently. Like, with gaining a platform, it's like, what have you learned? Is that most people are not well in the head. And a lot of people love to take out their own insecurities on other people, which is kind of sad. But it happens, unfortunately. But I really hope that you find someone amazing and someone that you deserve. And fuck this guy.
You learned what to look for.
Yeah.
You learned a lesson of if things like this happen, it may lead down a path similar to that. I can't imagine it's that horrific, like the weight comment on top of the cell phone, on top of the weird. This is going to sound horrible because, yes, hurting someone's feelings is the worst part of that. But if I were to extrapolate something that was the most narcissistic move of all, was what you said about ordering someone another drink.
Oh, yeah, I meant to comment on that too. That's so weird.
That right there is if somebody else orders you a drink and you haven't asked for it and you just met them, if it's one of your friends and they're like, oh my God, I ordered you a drink, you have to try this. That's different. But if you've met someone for the first time and they're not about asking you to learn about you, what do you like? How do you take your coffee? Done.
Yeah. That is weird. I know, it's like I haven't, like I would just never assume like someone would do that. Like even if you order me a drink, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Even if I order you a drink, that you would have that same reaction.
I would still be like, dude, what the fuck, James? I didn't want that. So I'm so sorry. And again, I hear so many horrible dating stories. I'm sure you have too. I mean, even if you go on TikTok, I mean, the audacity that some men have is, I mean, even some women. It's amazing. It's a scary, scary world. Again, I don't know how you people do it. But God bless you. I hope you find someone amazing that deserves an amazing person like you. Fuck them all.
True. Agreed. Ditto.
All right, let's do one more. This one's a short one, which always makes me nervous. Sometimes the short ones make me nervous. But let's do one more. Is that cool?
Prue would like two.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Hello. I used my mother's dildo.
Hello. I used my mother's dildo.
I'm gonna say that without ever using that as a tagline, that might be part of the definition of weird and proud.
Yeah. No,
he said it with confidence, and he was just the voice pausing was perfect.
I know,
the
you didn't know where
impeccable.
That was gonna go.
No, and he got you. Like all of a sudden,
I was
like
reeled in.
Good scary movie, and you're happy with the scare. And when he finished and just cut it off, the confidence to not elaborate, to not give details, to just know that that's all you have to deliver.
You have to know.
That is weird and proud.
I love it. You know what? That's what you get for leaving them around. I mean, by the way, whenever I do like the secrets, like the write-in secrets on my Instagram, that is probably one of the top things that I get sent in. I found my mom's dildo. I found my mom's vibrator. I found my stepmom's, and I used it.
By a guy?
No, I'm not. Well, sometimes I can't tell,
True.
And
I'm not saying that they wouldn't. There's plenty of guys that I'm sure do, but
sure.
I'm just going to go the percentage wise. It's more likely to, we know I'm open to all ideas of all people. Do whatever you want. I'm just saying mathematically, it's more likely to be a woman. The fact that it was a guy and the voice everything fit that character perfect.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it.
Have you ever found someone's toy that you didn't want to find? Like whether it was like a roommate or like a family member or something?
No.
No. My dad dated this woman who she would leave her dildos on the table in their room.
Oh, really?
And I always like thought that was like I remember walking in and finding them one day.
I think and it's stuff I just don't know. My family was just pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Northern Wisconsin, Lutheran raised, blah blah blah.
Yeah. The devil's toys.
So it was more probably that. And then when you said roommates and stuff, I'm like,
yeah, with the
well,
guy,
I probably
you're not
found
gonna...
stuff and it's guys, and we had all kinds of weird shit laying around and stinky clothes. We were all athletes, so we saw all kinds of weird crap. Yeah. I told you I've even peed on my buddy in the shower one time. Like,
yeah, boys are literally so weird. Literally. Anyways, I feel like that was a good one to end on because...
See, but when you pee on your buddy in the shower, you don't have to like talk about your feelings with him. Like everything's out, you're fine. Then everything's fixed.
Right.
Yeah, we just save a lot of time that way.
Right. No, that
We're
makes
efficient.
So much sense. Well, whoever this person is, I hope you at least cleaned it. I would say the number one, like, I guess, yeah, if you want to use it, experiment away. Like, please do. But like, you know where that probably goes in her and where you're probably putting it on
but he
you.
came from there too. So really?
Well, no. I hope he cleaned it after he used it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Very good hygiene point. Yes.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and also, I don't know how old you are, but get your own, because that would be a little disturbing if I knew that my children were using it. That would kill a turn on real quick. Well, those were some great ones. We, again, we love a follow-up. We love a catch-up. So Tess, thank you all for writing in. Again, if you want to write us in, you can go to speakpipe.com/weirdandproudpod, or you can email us at weirdandproudpod@gmail.com. So we'll always keep it anonymous unless you want to give us your name. And we love reading those. We always love to see what you guys are up to. We love the stories. So keep them coming. And I think that brings us to another episode of the Weird and Proud Pod. We will be back next Monday. And by that next Monday, maybe we will have even had a drink by then. Who knows? Prue is waving goodbye to you through the YouTube.
Bye-bye.
So, oh my
She
God,
misses
she's
you.
so
Bye-bye.
cute.
Prue says bye-bye.
But we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting the Weird and Proud Pod. And we will see you next week. Love ya. We love you, weirdos.